Let's go ahead and bring in Steiner Sports CEO, Brandon Steiner.
One of the country's top memorabilia mogul.
I have an unbelievable guest, Brandon Steiner.
Brandon's second to none.
Hello. For some of you that think the Yankee season is over, oh, it is. But hold on, we got a phenomenal, we're going to do a little recap, and we're probably with what I think, one of my favorite Yankees, but I think they're, I don't know, kind of the cornerstone of this Yankee team, the older statesman, and also somebody who just seems to have an arm that does not quit. 200 plus wins. CC Sabathia is joining us. If you have some questions and you're a Yankee fan, stay with us. Ask your questions. Love to hear from you. Hello, CC.
How you doing?
I gotta tell you, man, what I love about you is it just seems like you're constantly in growth mode. You know, on this show, we're always thinking about entrepreneurial. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about was the softball game you did at Yankee Stadium, because when your wife called up, I did a Jerry Seinfeld. I'm like, oh God, what is she doing? That's crazy. That's outrageous. That's a really big project, but it really came out really good. Yeah,
it did. It turned out phenomenal, man. The idea kind of behind it was I wanted to do kind of like a rock and jock softball. Remember, like I do the MTV days, like the rock and jock softball, where you get all the celebrities out there.
But most people like find a normal field to do that.
Yeah. But we were fortunate enough to get Yankee Stadium, which was Amber's relationship with Jenny Steinbrenner, and the Steinbrenner's been great to us since we've been here. They were gracious enough to let us use the field, and that kind of that attracts people.
You are married to a crazy businesswoman,
and she's unbelievable. And
she's not normal.
I come up with these ideas, and then she just executes them. You know what I mean? So
I like that.
It's been incredible. We had the basketball games at Barclays. We did with Rock Nation, and then the softball game this summer was incredible. So
when you make all that money, I mean, it seems like you made a lot of money there, and a lot of people came out for you. Now you're working on kind of what you do with that money?
It's baseball field renovations is what I love to do here in the Bronx and back home in Vallejo. I drive all the time I hate to see empty parks and weeds coming up through the baseball fields and things like that. And I always wanted to play on a nice field. And when I was a kid, I did. I got a chance to play on some good fields because our community was a baseball town, and the dads kind of took care of the field, and we had a nice place to play, and that made all the difference. So I always feel like
we had one field in Brooklyn. That was Gil Hodges Field.
We had two.
If you were Jewish, you weren't getting on that field. If you were black, Puerto Rican, you definitely weren't getting on that field. It was pretty much, but that field was. Oh, gorgeous.
It was nice, right? So you wanted to be on this. So that's why I said if I can do that in some of these neighborhoods for some of these kids, just redo nice fields, put up lights so they can play at night, different things. I think it'll get kids back playing, and the younger generation back playing baseball.
Will you keep in mind? I want to do a basketball court over. So if you see a place where you want to put a field, and I could do the court.
Yeah.
I've got the money put away. I'm just trying to find a place like in the boroughs or Bronx.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
And it'd be nice, like to team up. We do the basketball and the baseball, and
sure.
rock it out. That'd be cool.
Yeah, you guys talk. That's Amber though. You know that.
But if you could pass that on, I'll reach out to her. That'd be cool.
That would be a great idea. Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I think it'd be nice. It's so nice, even a softball field. Like we played on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just playing softball and concrete. Even once in a while, we try to play baseball and concrete. Stickball was, that kind of thing.
That's rough.
So when you get it, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this off season.
Yeah.
Because I'm always curious. You've been around. You've had some off seasons. Like, what do you do? Are you just training already for next season?
I had surgery 2 days after the season, knee scope. So I've just been rehabbing down at the field the last couple weeks after the season. Here in the next couple 10 days, I'll start working out. Start throwing the football again. My knee feels great, so I'm able to move it around and stuff, and start moving mobily and start pushing and get into getting ready for next summer.
Thinking about retiring, or is it always weighing on your mind? Because you've thrown a lot of baseballs. Mm-hmm. I think you would have had a lot more wins if you would have started with the Yankees instead of Cleveland, by the way. I was thinking about that. I was like, imagine, probably like 30, 40 more wins.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, I love the Indians organization, and I got drafted, just at a perfect time in a perfect organization, and they kind of raised me. I was 17 years old. I was, kind of immature, so I don't know if New York City would have been the perfect place for me.
That's fair.
Cleveland was a good place for me to learn and grow up and kind of start my family and be able to handle New York when I came here at 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way. That's a good point. That's fair. So, like, at this point, you probably know what you got to do. Like, are you at Knick games? Do you go to football games?
Yeah, I love to go to football. I'm a huge sports fan. I know you know that. College football.
It's hard to be a
basketball.
fan in New York right now.
Yeah, it is. It's tough, but I still like to go. It
Yeah.
don't matter. Tailgate. I'm a huge Raiders fan. I like to go to their games. So I'm at any kind of event that I can get at. I went to the Giants game here recently, Knicks, Nets. I went to the Nets Warriors last week. So
Sunday night game. That was a good game.
so it was a good game. So I just like to be around and be out at sporting events for sure.
I got to ask you about the parenting thing, just because I met your son. I think it was last off season. We were at some brunch in Alpine, and I ran into him, and the kid was unbelievable. That was junior, right?
Yeah, he's the third. I'm the junior. Yeah.
I mean, where's all that? I just want to hear. I'm just curious your philosophy on parenting, because the kid was just out of sight. I mean, really, really had his head screwed on straight.
I have to, Amber really holds it down for us, and she does a good job with the kids. Obviously, we always say though, we don't know where Lil C came from. He's super mature. He seems to know how to handle himself really well, and he's very respectful and things like that. So we're very proud of him in that, right? And it makes us proud as parents to hear people say that about our son. So that's the ultimate compliment. And but I mean, it's I have to give her the credit, because she's with them a lot of the time. And these last 19 years, I've been playing a lot of baseball and going in the summertime, and she's been holding the family down a lot. So thinking about retirement, it is that time to start thinking about that, and shifting into dad mode. And my son, he's a freshman in high school this year. He'll be a sophomore next year, so I don't want to miss a lot more of him playing. And
get a couple of barbecues.
Yeah, he plays
there.
basketball, baseball, and it'll be hard to be selfishly extending my career for no reason to miss a lot of his. So next year will be my last for sure.
Oh, you've announced that already?
Right now. On my podcast, me and Ruko talked about it.
So next year, that's it?
Next year be it. Yeah, for sure.
So next
It'll
year,
be 19 seasons.
Next year, if we're sitting here, actually working on your stat.
I'm sure we will.
Your Hall of Fame stat items. I'm a big pusher for you for the Hall of Fame, but that's me, that's the media, wherever else I can conjure up. I hear you, but hard decision, or you kind of just felt natural?
Easy decision. I've been blessed, man. I've had a phenomenal career. I feel like I've been able to meet some great people, have some great lifelong friends in this game, and just be able to play with some great players. I played with Derek Jeter, Ichiro, Mo. A-Rod. The list goes on. Jorge Posada. A lot of these guys are Hall of Famers, and
you probably owe Mo a couple steak dinners
for sure.
OG, keeping those wins.
A-Rod.
Because now you think about it, those guys keep those win totals up.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're going to come in and save my butt,
you know what? And when I came here, everybody tells you how hard it is to pitch here, and being a big free agent and all that stuff. But being able to come here and play with those guys made it so much easier. You just go out and do your little part, and the rest of these guys to take care of everything else, and just made it easy to kind of fit in and slide in here, and we won the World Series that first year.
Are you worried about the transition after? Because I see, now I'm getting a little older. I've seen a whole bunch of, all levels of players, and then there's that transition when all of a sudden you can't go to the ballpark. You're not busy all summer, and all of a sudden you're going to get the mail. You're going to pick up the milk. I'll get the milk.
I'm looking forward to that, actually.
Yeah?
It's just something about the competition part of it, I guess, is still there, but it's fading. It's time, it's time for me to go sit on the couch. I'm ready to go hang out. I'm ready to go, on summer vacations, and go camping with the family and do different things like that, and kind of be a fan and watch the game from afar. Hopefully I can still be around the Yankees organization and, help in any way I can. And
coach,
and obviously,
broadcast.
Maybe not a coach, because that'd be too much responsibility. I don't want that much responsibility.
I hear you.
Broadcasting we've talked about, but I don't want to have to be in a suit. You think I can broadcast just like this?
I think you could. 100%.
If I can broadcast like this, I would do it.
I never really understood why the guys are wearing a suit.
That's
anyway.
what I'm saying. It's baseball. Guys got on uniform.
Point.
You know what I mean? Like, if I could go comfortably.
I mean, Michael Kay needs a suit. If I were Michael Kay, I'd wear a suit, although he's looking really good and trim. But, that's the thing that kills me with guys. He comes in, like, with a Jordan outfit, and then you actually look great. Like, if I was wearing that today, I don't know. And that's what's unbelievable about being an athlete. You get this passage of being able to wear whatever you want, and you always got the coolest shit. That's what kills me.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's something that been another blessing, just being able to sign with Jordan.
And coming from the neighborhood, that is more than a blessing.
It is, for
Matter
sure.
of fact, you probably trade out your house, everything else for the
shoes.
Exactly.
For sure.
How was your shoe collection, by the way?
It's good, man. It's the last. I've been with Jordan for 12 years now.
Are you stocked up? Do you need another closet?
No, I got a lot of stuff, man.
Me too. My wife made me get rid of a lot. But are you down on those like new Pumas that came out?
I like the new Pumas.
I'm thinking about maybe I'm going to play in them. Maybe I'm going to try to give it a run.
Yeah, they seem really great for playing in.
They're a little heavy though.
But they feel like I feel like they're sturdy. I guess is what I'm saying for like moving around and playing basketball.
I went in the other day and I tried on a pair. And of course, what kills me is, the lady's like, who are these for? Like, for me. And I resent that kind of attitude. And they're for me, and I play twice a week. But the ladies, that's very discriminatory against old people. But they felt good. Now, I killed for a pair of Clyde Pumas, my blue suede ones. That was a big deal in my neighborhood. If you add those, that may be the difference of you getting chosen in or not. So I got to have respect to Clyde. Go put the new ones on.
Right.
Even though they are orange, but kind of my favorite color.
They're pretty cool, though.
They are pretty cool.
Cool. And in the NBA now, you can wear whatever color you want. So that makes it, these guys can kind of show their personality in whatever shoe they want to wear. I wish the MLB would do that.
Yeah, they don't get into cleats that way.
Well, they
really.
did that one, the Players Weekend, which is fun. A lot of guys get to wear whatever they want and paint their different cleats, different colors. So, I think it brings out guys' personalities.
I think we got to talk about your last season then, about your starts, and maybe we come up with some limited looks on your cleats or something.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. That's what I've been trying to talk to Jordan about. Maybe getting some.
Yeah, maybe getting a couple artists doing a couple small little things. That's what we did with Jeter, with Jeter's cleats. Remember?
Yeah.
We made a lot of money on that too, by the way. I'm just saying, not that I would monetize anything, but the fans love that stuff, right?
And I do too, because I'm a fan, and I'm a big fan of Jordan, obviously, and being able to be on that brand for so long. And
that's amazing.
It's fun.
The 5-inning thing. Like I've watched you pitch so many nights, so many times. I've been blessed to come and watch you play and pitch. But is it something you could do that will make you a little stronger to go in 6 and 7 at this point? Is that something you think about?
That's kind of really something that's been out of my hands, I feel like. When I'm going good, my pitch count's low, they let me go. But it just kind of just seems where, never had a conversation about it. But just seems where there's a certain point, 85, 95 pitches that I'm coming out of the game no matter what. And I've said that I'm 38 years old, and I've had my time to argue with managers and, throw longer in the games and do all that stuff and throw 120 pitches, 130 pitches, 140 pitches in games and stuff like that. So, no, I'm fine with it. It is what it is. Our bullpen is one of the best in the game. And, as long as we're winning games, I'm fine.
Talk to me about this team. Love this team, by the way, because it is a team. And you could tell, because when things cracked a little bit, injuries, losing a little, maybe things didn't go great in August, you couldn't tell. And that's how you tell when you got nobody looking at each other, pointing fingers or any of that. So you got a good nucleus. Where's the glue in that team? What's keeping that team together? And is there something missing? Is there one thing you think that you'd like to see in the offseason happen?
I don't know if there's anything missing.
Would you go back with that same team and go?
That team won 100 games, yeah.
Because I'm thinking 2 at-bats, and you're probably beating the Red Sox.
Yeah.
2 at-bats.
Yeah.
That's what people are like. You get all crazy. That Friday night game, which I was in Boston, that's 1 at-bat, and now you probably win that game.
And we were right there, too. In
the last game.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, it's just one of those things. But, I don't know if there's anything missing. This team, like you said, is a great bunch of guys. We all root for each other. We all get along. We all are in the same boat, and that's something that's not common. Sometimes you can get on some teams where different guys, different cliques and things like that. We don't have any of that. We all get along. We're all together. We're all in it. So that's definitely refreshing, and I feel like that alone is going to get us to the World Series. This core of guys is going to win the World Series.
Because you're 2 in a row where you really could make an argument. A couple of plays, you're in the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the guys are getting older. That group 2 years ago in 17 was all rookies, basically, with Judge and those guys being rookies. And we come back this next year, and you got Glaber and Miggy never played in the postseason.
That's true.
So if we come back the next year, then everybody has that experience, and, we go on and do our thing.
What's your take on the catcher situation? Because I love Gary Sanchez. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit I'm biased. I love this guy, over the top. So, and we never talked about this, but I'm over the top. I'm biased. I love him. I think he's an unbelievable player. Now, when I started watching the playoff, I was a little worried because he's missing a couple balls, but also he has a groin injury. And people don't realize you're not coming back. It's not like while you have a groin injury, you're on a bike, you're working out, and you need your legs. So
yeah, especially him squatting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what people were thinking, that there wasn't going to be a transition. And obviously, you see as he worked himself back into it, he started coming around. But it seems like there's a lot of catchers struggling now with the ball. Why? What's the philosophy around that?
I don't know about other catchers or anything like that. I mean, the guys are throwing harder, obviously. It's nastier stuff. You got 3 or 4 guys on every staff that are throwing 100. Back in the day, it was 3 or 4 guys in the whole league that were throwing 100.
Maybe.
So now, every staff's got a couple guys. So that makes it harder.
How hard is it to catch 100? Because
I mean,
I'm trying to imagine what that may be like.
But you got to think, a lot of the guys that throw 100 don't know where the fuck is going. Don't know where it's going.
We're unfiltered here.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. But it's fair though.
They don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not saying it like that, but they really don't have a lot of control. So you call a fastball in, and the guy's throwing the ball over here. So I mean, you're throwing the ball 100 miles an hour over here. You got to reach for it. It's gonna make it tough.
Jorge would be having a heart attack.
Everybody would have a tough time with this.
Because he didn't take that lightly. If you started throwing that ball around, he'd go crazy.
Yeah, and you know who was that? Sandy Alomar too.
He's like, no.
Throw the ball over the plate.
Exactly. Or throw the ball where I put my mitt. But it just also seems like the amount of stuff on the ball too, besides the speed, seems like more cutters or more versions of the cutters now.
But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a popular pitch right now is the cutter. Years ago it was the split, that popped up. But right now it's the cutter. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult to catch. And I'm with you on Gary. I love him. He works his ass off. Every day he's out there working hard, blocking balls, doing different things before the game.
And he came to camp, reminded me of you. Like, remember when you lost some weight?
Yeah.
And I saw him before the season. I'm like, dude, whoa.
Yeah, he looked good.
He looked great.
Yeah, and I'm sure he will come into spring training again and look great again this year. But he's young, and he's learning too on the job. And he's in New York, and people expect him to be great. So it's a lot of responsibility trying to deal with a pitching staff. Different pitchers. Yankees, we always got different guys coming in. So it's a little difficult, but I think he'll figure it out. I'm with you.
You're okay with these certain amount of visits to the mound? Were you big on those mound visits?
I like the
anyway?
mound visits.
What goes on these mound visits? I'm
very vocal out on the mound. So if I don't know if people watch me playing, I'm talking to.
But you
third
got your
baseman,
minnow on that. So
talking to Didi. No, I'm talking about
general. Yeah,
just in general. When I'm walking over there to get the ball, I'm screaming at Didi. I'm yelling at I'm talking to the third baseman, things like that. So I just like to talk. Sometimes I want Gary to come out and just say, "Hey, what you thinking?" Or, "Hey, I need a break." You know what I mean? So
I always said, when I'm managing, I always said to my kids, I like mound visits. I always said, you hear about the man with 5 penises. His pants fit like a glove. And that always kind of broke the ice on it. My son was the catcher, and that always kind of opened things up. Yeah. And then I would get into, what I wanted to say to them, which is, they're 12-year-old kids, not much. But your best catcher lines, any catchers that had really good lines? Posada wasn't a big talker, just other than...
No, Sato was Sato would come out and be very serious most of the time, and not be playing around. I don't know if I have any really great one-liners or anything like that.
Thurman, I heard, would just come out to the mound and say, "This is a hell of a mess you got us into."
I seen Tony Pena run out and he slapped Jose Mesa. And then turned around and ran back right back behind the plate. Those are some good ones, but
so you're okay you're okay with the limited mound visits, though.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But for me, my catchers always my catchers be very honest with me. So if I'm coming out and I'm having a bad inning, just come out and give go at me. And that's what Victor Martinez was like that. We both came up together, we were very young, and if I was in a bad spot in the jam. he would come out and just be like, what are you doing? Like, let's go, and and that would always get me going. So he was good.
What's crazy always seems like with you with the umpires is you've got those backdoor curves and stuff, and sometimes umpires are with you, sometimes they're not with you. Frustrating, or at this point you've been in the league long enough, or
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, some guys gonna call it, some guys aren't. Some guys think it is strike. Sometimes it's strike, sometimes it's not. So.
What would you change in the game? Anything? Anything that just after 18 years, anything you would change?
I don't know. I mean, the only thing that I like the new replay. The only thing that kind of gets everybody frustrated is the strike zone, and I don't know what you do with that. I don't know if necessarily that boxes on the screen is the right call or automated strike zone.
Ooh.
But if they can somehow get that right,
I'm thinking maybe we're cutting out the time in between innings in half.
How?
Like right now, I think they cut it down. A few years ago, I cut it down to maybe only a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, get us out there. Let's go. And I would just say, let's keep the game flowing a little bit. You could probably save about 15 minutes in the game.
If you just hustle guys out?
I mean, to some degree. I mean, I think a minute and a half to go out and warm up is probably enough. And
for sure. But it's TV, though.
Right. Well, hey, someone's got to give.
Yes, that's all TV time.
Now they got the split screen. I got to watch the game and a commercial. Everything is sponsored. I mean, I don't know what I've just seen. There's so many things coming at me. And I know I'm like the marketer myself, but it's hard to remember everything you've seen anyway. So, okay, we'll cut the commercials down a little bit during some of those innings.
That'd be great. Because you get those ESPN games, it's 2:30 in between and 2:25 in between innings.
Do you need all that time?
I don't.
And the pitching changes?
I only throw 8 pitches. So I'm standing out there most of the time just waiting.
Oh, you only throw 8?
I only throw 8 pitches in between innings.
Every time? 8?
No matter what.
You counting?
No, I don't know if I count them, but I remember,
Any superstitions, by the way?
I like when I'm on the field.
Yeah. Before the game?
Well, before
I know you don't walk on the line. You always step over the line.
Yeah, I always step over the line. But before the game, it's just more about time. It's I have to be in the hot tub at a certain time. I got to be on the training table at a certain time. I got to start playing catch at a certain time. So it's just times with the superstitions during the game. I mean, the game that I pitch.
Dude, it's like a couple of years, you're going to be at Old Timers Day.
Yeah, for sure.
They're going to be asking you to...
I might have to wait like a couple of years, though. I don't know if I'll just retire and go to Old Timers Day.
Well, yeah, nobody will be able to hit you.
I'll wait.
I mean, nobody's going to hit. You got to wait till your arm is a little bit... Or something. Do you think Mariano is at some point now going to go to Old Timers Day and pitch?
Yeah. I think Mariano could probably still get outs in the big leagues.
Oh, there's no question.
For sure.
There's no question. The question is, could I hit him? If I could just get one hit off that sucker, man. Then I just shut him up. Because I think if I play with Matt, I don't think I could exist because he's so relentless. His level of competition, and you don't want to disappoint him. Forget about the manager of fans.
Yeah.
I think even now when I'm working, I don't want to disappoint the guy. Mo, I'm sorry, we're 92 minutes on a 90-minute appearance.
But that was
so articulate.
That was the core four in general, though. Yeah. So for me, coming in, me and Andy are really close. That's it's like my big brother. So it was always I didn't want to disappoint him. Whether it was getting my workout in, different things that I saw him doing in his routine, I wanted to do in my routine. I wanted to be great. I saw him, how good he was and how great he had been in for the Yankees for so long that I just kind of gravitated to him. Left-handed pitcher. So for me, like I said, I mean, it was not wanting to let him down, not wanting to let me and me and Sato were really close, not wanting to let that relationship go. So. Yeah, I mean, that core four is just those guys. They're just like that.
But when you think about Mariano, how dominant he was, how? Because, I mean, a lot of guys have his stuff, kind of.
No, nobody has that cutter.
That cutter just...
Nobody can throw that.
Is it something that nobody could figure out?
Nobody can figure it out. He was just, I think it was just God given for him.
I think maybe God did give it to him. I really do. For a lot of years, we're talking about God and the fact that he doesn't know how he got it. He's having the catch in the outfield. But I'm thinking maybe God came down and said, all right, that skinny little kid over there. And
but he's
put it to good use though.
He has, yeah. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I mean, he taught D-Rob it a little bit, but it's not the same.
No. No, it's not the same, and I've never seen anything like it. No. And there's nobody that made you stay till the end of a game more than you did, regardless of the score.
Nobody.
Take a couple quick questions.
Yeah, we got a bunch of good ones. This first one from Tony. What player did you look up to most growing up?
I would have to say Dave Stewart was my favorite. He wasn't my favorite player, but he's somebody I looked up to the most as being a pitcher, pitching for the A's. My favorite player was Ken Griffey Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if people realize how popular he was in the 90s.
Oh, he was the sport. You know, wearing his hat backwards, his shoes. He was the only guy with shoes, right? That could sell
The shoes, everything, and also on the games.
The games. But he sold like baseball shoes like Jordan, you know?
He was big.
He was big.
He was the man.
Speaking of shoes, this is from Junior. What's your favorite pair of Jordans?
Favorite pair of Jordans 11s.
Me too. The lows.
Yeah. Any one. Any colorway, anything, the patent leather 11s,
Really?
yeah.
I don't wear the patent leather ones, but you know those other ones that the black with the red?
Oh, yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
the first
lows,
ones.
yeah.
I played in those for like 3 years.
Really?
Love those. That and the Jordan 8s.
Mm-hmm.
Also the quad, the middle.
The mid one is
funky,
good.
That's a vacation for your feet, though. Really comfortable.
You know which one is the best, I feel the most comfortable in is a 13.
I'm try
Really padded. It's nice. It's a good shoe.
Now, when you finish playing baseball, will you play some other sports?
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can't wait.
I'll golf. I love to bowl. I'll hoop, you know, so yeah, for sure. I played basketball in a couple of years, so I'm ready to get back going.
Well, we'd like to have you at our game.
Yeah.
We had Reggie at our game at my house.
Let me know.
You know, I
Yeah.
got the court at my house. We've had Reggie, John Wallace. We've had a lot of guys come and run.
Let me know. I can
We're
play.
a bunch of old guys, but we can run with you as long as you pass me the ball.
This is from Mike. The most difficult batter you've faced in your career?
Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez, for sure. He was unbelievable. He's the best hitter of my generation, for sure.
I don't know if people realize how good he was. I heard, and this is hearsay, but from a bunch of Red Sox players, that before the game he would tell them how many hits he would get, like a double. I think I'm going to get a home run this game.
Well, he was steady. You know, he knew what guys were trying to do to him, and he knew what made guys good. So he would take that away from you. You know, whatever your best pitch was, he's taking that away, and you got to throw him something over the plate, and you know, most of the time he did damage.
Amazing to open up the new Yankee Stadium. One of your highlights when you think about it.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I mean that was incredible. Being able to pitch opening day and then being able to line up to open, you know, Yankee Stadium was awesome for sure.
That was awesome.
But the only thing was, it was very nerve-wracking because it was my first time pitching against my old team.
Right,
And all my guys were there.
Right.
You know, Grady Sizemore
yeah.
was the first batter I faced. I was like, this is not
And
right.
everybody was out of that game too, man. It was a star-studded, right? Remember that?
It was good, but that was my facing my old guys, so it was kind of bittersweet that, you know, I got to open Yankee Stadium, but it was against my old guys.
You a collector, by the way?
Not a decent amount, you know.
You got hundreds of pairs of sneakers.
I do.
So you do have issues.
Yeah.
And I appreciate those issues. Makes me feel normal. But what's your favorite collectible? Something hanging in your sports room that you really just that.
I got a Marcus Allen jersey that I really love. Bo Jackson Raiders jersey that I really like. I got the
Muhammad Ali or no?
Oh, I got a bunch of Muhammad Ali stuff. Gloves. I got a robe. I got a signed picture. I actually got a chance to meet him and take pictures with him at Louisville a couple of years ago before he passed away.
Amazing.
I took my son down to a Louisville game, and he was there. Got a chance to meet him, took some pictures, so that was awesome.
You haven't been to the Dome, have you, for Syracuse?
No, I haven't yet.
All right, we may have to make that on your
Let me know.
list.
I would love to go up there.
So you haven't been to a basketball game yet?
Not up there.
No, you haven't been to a basketball game. The Dome, 35,000.
I heard about it.
Yeah, we may have to do a day trip.
Let me know.
Yeah, that's something else. But you know, I hear you. There's some other places, but nothing like this. I mean, it's rocking. We'll take one more and we'll let CC go.
This is from Matt. What advice do you have for kids, and I guess really for parents as well, for them to not get burnt out at an early age if they love baseball?
Don't play too much. You got kids now playing play other sports. You got kids now playing baseball year round, where they play, 140 games during the course of a year. I mean, I get tired. We play 162, and I'm burnt out. So as a kid, I played all different. I played soccer.
You played everything?
I played soccer as a kid. I played football in high school.
What
I
position?
played basketball in football. I played tight end and DN my junior and senior year. Freshman, sophomore, I played quarterback. I hated it.
You like the QB?
I didn't like it. It wasn't fun.
Were you like a 4 in basketball or a 3? Or?
I played 4 in basketball. We had a 7-footer. That was the 5. So we had a really, really good high school basketball team.
What high
so
school?
I played all the way through Vallejo High School. So I played all the way through my senior year.
7-footer. You were.
I was this size.
You were a team that nobody wanted to deal with.
Oh yeah, we only lost I think 3 games in 2 years.
You were the team nobody wanted to play. So you're one of those guys. Anything you really wanted to do in high school, you just did it.
Well, I just played a lot of sports, and I was always, I never got burnt out with baseball. When it was time to pick up a baseball and a baseball bat, it was time to pick up the bat. So it wasn't one of those things where I play year round like these kids do, and throwing,
No pressure from home about what you were going to be.
No pressure from home to play, a sport, but not to play a specific sport.
When did you realize you had what it took to play in the big leagues, though?
I think when I was about 13 or 14.
Really?
When I was, in Little League and stuff, I was on some really good Little League teams. Like I said, my community in Vallejo, inner city, but it was all about baseball. So we had some good teams, some great kids that came out of there, a lot of talent. So I was middle of the pack, Little League. We got to the big field, 13, 14, and I got a little bigger and started hitting the ball a little harder, hitting some home runs and, throwing harder. So I felt like at 14, my freshman year of high school, I felt I had a good chance.
Were you torn a little bit about maybe wanting to play football or basketball? Or you always knew it was baseball?
Going into my senior year, I had no idea what I was going to do.
Really?
Signed a scholarship to play football at Hawaii, but I didn't really want to go to school. I wanted to play football, but I didn't want to go to school.
Well, you want to go to Hawaii,
so,
though.
yeah, I wanted to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
But getting
That's
drafted
fair.
gave me an opportunity to, play and not have to go to school. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do this.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of kids feel that way. I'd rather, until they come up with a degree that's a little more geared towards the student athlete, I don't understand why they can't alter that, because it's unfair. You're asking a person to go to school who really wants to play in the big leagues. Well, put together a curriculum that fits.
If you go to school to play baseball, you have to stay for 3 years. So that's really not an option for somebody that sees themselves in the big leagues as a teenager, which I saw. I saw Andrew Jones playing the World Series in '96 as a teenager. I'm like, hey, that's what I want to do.
Really?
So the college wasn't an option for me, and if that's the case.
That's true. I mean, 2 years, I'm happy with. I'm not good with the 1 and done, but I'm cool with 2.
I'm cool with 2, yeah.
And then obviously, if the curriculum is right. See, that's the thing. It's like if we were feeding athletes the curriculum that they needed, so when you got out, you were a smarter student athlete. You were teaching about what you were going to do with some of this media attention, what you were going to do with your money. They were giving you all the PR, the communication stuff, how to build your brand,
how to
instead
work.
of sitting there taking algebra and calculus.
Yeah.
And being I struggle with that stuff. It's one of the things that almost tore me away, and I didn't want to go to school.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to have a student athlete degree.
It would be.
Right? It would help you health, and we'd have a lot more athletes doing better when they finish their careers.
Exactly.
Right?
I was about to say that.
Well, good luck with your charity. And your next event?
We have a baseball camp out in California, November 11th.
And how about not the basketball game this year? No.
No, we did the softball game. So I think we're going to try to,
Bowling or no?
Huh?
Bowling again this year?
No, I think we're going to try to do the softball game again in June. So, or whenever,
Wow.
So,
yeah, I got to get on board a little bit earlier on that softball game, because I think that was big time.
It was awesome. I think that I don't
big.
think people really realize what we had envisioned for it
because
until
nobody
we
did
got
it.
it. Yeah.
And that's why I was dying to have you on the program, because everybody knows you as a great pitcher and everything. I look at you as an entrepreneur.
Oh, thank you.
When you team up, but to me, the ultimate entrepreneur takes all the resources, takes the best resources around him, which is the partnership you got with your wife, and kicks some ass. And that was very, very rogue. I'm going to do Yankee Stadium softball game. People have a hard time filling a high school field up. You got going went Yankee Stadium on, man. And I love the balls on that.
Yeah, it was awesome. It turned out great, too.
Your charity website?
Pitchin.org.
Cool. CC Sabathia, we got 1 more year with him to enjoy that. So make sure you get out to the stadium when he pitches. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We got a date next year at this time, and we'll talk about your careers overall, or unless you change your mind.
No, I don't think
You can
I'll
get
be
Jordan
changing my mind.
change your mind.
And what I have envisioned is us winning the World Series, and I'm going on out. So that'd be great.
Yankees winning the World Series next year. He made that prediction. You heard it here first. Congratulations, and I hope you enjoy every minute of next year. We got to work on a whole bunch of commemorative stuff to even celebrate even further.